All right. Hey, Dr. Tressler here. We're going to start this live video in just a minute on sleep. Something many just don't get a good night's sleep on. And I have some really interesting data and suggestions. So if you either you can take some notes or wait until the video's done, you can rewatch this. We'll post, I'll give this to my daughter Mackenzie. If you've noticed, a lot of our postings and Facebook posting and pictures look way better than they've ever done in our lives. Is my daughter Mackenzie is helping post all this. She's doing it all. And Emily did a fantastic job before Mackenzie, and before it was me. I just throw content out there. You see my upside down handstand push-ups and farm stuff with my sheep and my cows, and Pablo, the ram that comes up and still hugs on me. I just put out content. They make it look beautifully. So I'll have her make sure she posts all this stuff. But we're going to jump right in. And this is a topic that is very frustrating for so many people because there's not really an answer. They're pushing out drugs, which they do with every symptom. And you're forced to try different things. You turn to alcohol or drugs and trying to sleep through the night, and you wake up exhausted. So listen to these stats. This is mind-blowing that 63% do not get enough sleep. Now, we may look and see our teenagers sleep for 10, 12 hours, but kids need more sleep. I get a little upset. I want my kids to get up and go, but they do need more sleep. 69%, almost 70% struggle with sleep. 22% are so sleepy during the day, it affects their quality of life. So if you're in the middle of the day, you're yawning and, oh man, I just have to wake up. How can you be productive? So let's look at this. As an adult, we should sleep about 7 to 8 hours. Now, I've done a lot of research on this, and I've listened to a lot of podcasts on sleep, and it could be as low as 6 hours, but most of the time it's you need at least 6 hours to get good quality sleep to recharge. Some need 7 or 8. And I notice when I'm doing a lot of physical work, or when I run my marathons, or I'm doing a lot of heavy running and lifting, I may need an extra half hour, an hour that day. So physical activity, you need a little bit more. Some people are genetically inclined to only sleep 4 hours. So don't think don't force yourself to do that if it's not you. Sleeping cycles is very interesting, run about 90 to 120 minutes. So you'll go through a sleep cycle where you'll sleep and you'll be in a light sleep, and then you'll go into REM for about 90 minutes, and then you'll come out, go into a sleep, and sometimes you'll go into a deep sleep for 20 or 30 minutes, then come back up. So you go through these 90, this is why this is important, 90 to 120 minute cycles. You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, the alarm. If you wake up, you should wake up naturally, by the way, or very close to it. You shouldn't need an alarm to wake up. But if you get up with an alarm and you actually physically come out of your sleep, you hit the alarm and the snooze button and you go back to sleep. Because we are a 90-minute cycle, you really need another 90 minutes to process. So if you only sleep for 10 or 20 minutes, you're groggy for up to about 4 to 5 hours. You ever notice that? You hit the alarm, then you're miserable until lunchtime. So I would encourage you, don't do that. So I'm going to give you some tips, in the second part here. Listen to what this can cause. And this is where you need to get serious about your health. You need to look at this and say, okay, you can have a handle on this. Don't turn to drugs and alcohol. But listen to this. Sleep deprivation increases your risk of obesity and diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Increases your risk of neurological problems, dementia and Alzheimer's. And I'm going to explain why here. It decreases your immune function. So this COVID-19, immune function. We need a good, strong immune system. If we're stressed out and full of anxiety, we're not getting sleep, we're losing our immune function. You need a good night's sleep. Increased risk of cancer. Melatonin both inhibits, listen to this, the proliferation of cancer cells. So melatonin gets stimulated when you're sleeping. If you're not sleeping, they say try melatonin. It's a supplement. You really shouldn't need that if your body's functioning properly. And it triggers cancer cell apoptosis, which is self-destruction. It also interferes with new blood supply tumors that require further rapid growth, angiogenesis. So if you're not getting enough sleep, it increases risk of cancer. New cell growth is being accelerated. New cancer cell growth is being accelerated when you don't have proper sleep. That's serious stuff. Get your sleep. But if you have to sleep 12 and 14 hours, you're not getting twice the amount of energy restoration. You're actually dysfunctional. That's not normal. You should sleep 7 to 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and bam, you're up and on you go. Increases osteoporosis, stomach ulcers, impaired sexual function, premature aging, impairs emotion, increases risk of depression and anxiety, which, it's like, do we need even a study to tell us that? If you didn't get enough sleep, or you had a restful sleep, or you were on and off all night, you're not going to be at your top game. Impairs memory and your ability to learn new things. So with me, I'm always reading and learning, and I want to develop and learn more and implement more and learn a new strategy. And when I don't get enough sleep, I feel like my head's just not there. It's not working. And it's because my brain cells, my neurology is off. It's foggy. You need good sleep. You ever notice that when you're on vacation, you're resting, you're on the beach, you're relaxing, you get these amazing ideas. You're out walking in the woods and you get these amazing ideas. It reduces productivity, performance, and creativity. So this is something with the creative mind. It's the right side of the mind. When we are, and you'll learn in the second phase too, what we need to do. When we're on the computer and we're like this, we're hunched, a new term was developed called digital dementia. I teach this in the junior and senior high schools. This impairs the right side of the brain. The right side of the brain is creativity. So you become brain dead, basically. You don't have a creative mind. You need sleep. You need to get off your computer too, but you need sleep. And slower reaction time. So if you're an athlete, and if you are training heavily as an athlete, you need more sleep. You may need 9 or 10 hours of sleep, depending on how much activity you're doing. But if you're not getting enough sleep, you don't have good reaction time. That affects your performance. And if you're into sports like me, when you go out to perform, you want to win. You don't want to come in second. You don't want to come in third. You want to win. So how do we improve sleep? So let's dive into this. I want to tell you a quick story. A patient, Shar, when she came in, Shar is probably listening. I can't see my screen, so hopefully you are. She's just an absolute amazing woman. When she lays face down on the table, I can see her smile. I can feel it. Her energy is just amazing. When she first came in, she was excited and energetic, but she wasn't sleeping through the night. And she had spinal problems in her neck and her back, so I started adjusting her. And it was like the second treatment. She came in and she said, Dr. Trussler, I'm sleeping through the night. And I'm going to explain why this happened. This could be you. I'm sleeping through the night. I'm so excited. She's like, just, full of energy. I can relate because I'm the same way. I'm full of energy. And she said, I'm sleeping through the night. She goes, my husband thinks I'm silly. When it's time for bed, I'm so excited because I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to sleep through the night. Because when you're waking up off and on all night, and I'm going to tell you another story later on about a case that will blow your mind away. You're not excited about going to bed. It's like, I'm going to be miserable tonight. Okay, here I go. I'm going to bed. So shout out to Shar. Absolutely just a sweetheart of a woman. Just thank you. So how do we need to improve this? First, and these are the notes you'll take. I think I have like 20. My favorite number, 20. Tips. And some of these will be really important for you. Some you'll say, I do it, or it may not be relevant, but some you have to implement these. And most of these you can do. They're not hard. First is complete darkness. Complete darkness. I hate when there's light on in the room. No phone light. When you have your cell phone and it's blinking all night, your subconscious will pick that up. This will change your sleep patterns. You don't want that. Your clock, you don't want to see your clock. You don't want to see your lights. Our phone, if there's a message on our phone, it blinks. It drives me nuts. I'm not going to sleep with this blinking thing. I'll put it in the other room. No nightlight. Now, if you have young kids, we always put a nightlight in the room in case they wake up. I guess little kids, they just have to tough it out. But it will interfere, again, with the production of melatonin and serotonin. Serotonin is that happily, bubbly hormone that makes you feel relaxed and it gets good sleep and you can lose weight. And you're going to lose production of melatonin and serotonin. The temperature should be no higher than 70 degrees. So listen to this. It's best between 60 and 68. And this mimics the natural body temperature. So I was reading, I'll throw this in. I didn't put it in my notes. I thought, I better not put this in. I'm putting it in. I was reading, if you, to keep that temperature, you want to have cool body temperature. You don't want to be all these clothes on you and hot and so forth. So you may want to sleep in the raw. To mimic that. So you choose, you do whatever you want. Eliminate electrical and electromagnetic fields, the EMFs. This is really important. There's a lot of information out on this. It disrupts the pineal gland's production of melatonin and serotonin again. So nothing electric in your room. Unplug things. No cell phone. Get it out of there. Keep it downstairs. Unplug it. Don't keep it in your room. This is a contributor to mitochondrial damage. That's the energy inside the cell. This is really important for aging and overall health. If you get mitochondrial damage and dysfunction, this is the heart behind all chronic disease. Get the electricity out of your bedroom, unless it's between you and your spouse. Oh, my kids are probably laughing. Dad, you're crazy. So last night, let me tell you this quick story. This is how bad this could ruin your night. I went to bed around 10 o'clock, woke up around 1 o'clock or so, I don't know what time it was, with this mooing. We have 13 cows, we have 50 sheep, and our cows are kind of out in our backyard. And when the moms are in distress, they and they won't stop. It's miserable. My eyes are up. I said to my wife, "Hon, oh God." She said, "What's going on?" I'm like, "They're in distress." I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm thinking they could be hurt. Something could be happening. I don't think they're having a baby, but there's 2 young calves out there. One's just a week old. I'm like, I'm thinking, is there wolves out? I mean, coyotes, and all of these things race through your mind. When your mind's racing, you don't sleep. I said, all right, let's go. So she and I went out. I walked up into the field, and the 2 baby calves were in the alleyway, and the moms were in the fenced-in area, and the babies didn't know how to get to their moms. So the mom just, she'll do it all night long. So I chased them in, and then I had to chase all the cows. I put them all in one area, and by the time I got, it was like an hour's worth or so. The time I got into the house, my heart's racing. I'm hot because I'm climbing these big hills. So I had to read for a half hour to get my body calm to sleep. Those are miserable nights for me. And many of you are living this day in and day out. This will destroy your health. It will ruin your energy. It will ruin your mood. It will burn muscle tissue, burn in the joint tissue. You'll age 2, 3, 5, 10 times faster than you should. So turn off the Wi-Fi. Go to your Wi-Fi, turn it off. Move your alarm clocks and every electrical device out of the bedroom, and avoid using loud alarm clocks. That's miserable to wake up to. You should wake up naturally. You should wake up and if you are healthy, this is where I've trained my body. When I'm sleeping and I want to get up at 6 or 5:30, 6. Right now I'm getting up at 6, and I'll wake up at like 5 till 6. I hardly ever hear my alarm. I always get up beforehand, turn it off. And when I do set my alarm, it's on music and it's very low. You can barely hear it. It's very subtle because I want to be nudged into being awake. Not, "Hey, folks," or "dang, dang, dang, dang." That's miserable. That's like somebody punching you in the face to wake up. Not a good start. Not going to be good for your hormones. Your stress hormones go through the roof. So listen to this. You doing this, especially your cell phone. Here's another thing: your cell phone beeping in the middle of the night or vibrating. That that startles your sleep pattern. You may not know it in the morning because you don't remember waking up, but you got jarred out of your REM sleep or your deep sleep. Jarred up. And that ruins you. So don't get that stuff out of there. This is absolutely crazy that you need to have a email message notifying you that 3 in the morning that you got an email or a text. Who's up texting at 3? You don't need to know that. Put it on airplane mode, turn it off, put it downstairs. Sleeping on your side or back, posture and alignment. Let's take a minute here, and I'm going to explain something. I'm going to use this as a pillow and show you how important sleeping positions. People always ask me, how do I sleep? So you want to be in a natural position. Your spine from the side is shaped like this. So if you sleep, watch this, if you sleep with a pillow under your neck, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to lay down and I'll show you. What you're doing to your neck is you're doing that. Watch this. I lay down. If I lay on my back, my ear is lined up with my shoulder. This is natural posture. Natural posture. Look at my neck. It's caked the wrong way. The wrong way. You'll develop degeneration, spinal damage, nerve pressure, blood flow constriction. Your carotid arteries are getting crushed. You're not getting ample cerebral spinal fluid, nerve fluid into the brain through the night. Sleeping like this. Now watch if you sleep on your side. If I don't have a pillow, look at my neck. This is where you want a pillow. You want to be balanced. Have your wife or spouse, and you'll know if it's too big and you're like this, you see how my head's tilted. You want a nice pillow to keep balance. If you have shoulder problems and you're sleeping on your side, you're compressing, you're going to cause damage there. Now this is why this is so important. Is nerves travel through your spine and they go up into your head, into your muscles. The cranial nerves are affected by the first vertebrae, second vertebrae. Sleep is affected. Your vagus nerve that comes out of this area goes into your stomach. This can increase acid reflux by sleeping the wrong way. This can cause tension, that if you're under tension, you're not going to sleep properly. What happens to the muscles in the back when your neck is stretched? Muscles get tight. They get elongated, tense. So if you're sleeping like this, you're tense all night long. It's like somebody choking you. You'll never get a good night's sleep. Your nerve system is firing all night long because it's agitated. Better to sleep maybe with a real small pillow or something with a roll under your neck. There's no exact pillow in the best bed. You have to just try to get in a nice, casual, relaxed position. So we have amazing results, just like Sharp. So there was a patient, Kathy and Jim, and Kathy got checked, and she didn't tell me this, but she had some neck pain, shoulder pain, so she didn't tell me she has sleeping problems. So she has her second treatment. She comes in on her third time, and she's out at my front desk, and Kathy's probably 15 years older than me, and Jim is so quiet, and she's all bubbly and full of energy. Well, Kathy gets to the front desk, and all I hear is, "Where is he? If he wasn't married, I'd kiss him." And I said, "Oh my, what's going on?" I look out at the front, and I see Kathy and Jim, and I'm like, what the heck happened? I wonder what's going on. She came back, she goes, "What did you do to me?" I said, "I don't know, what did I do?" She said, "I am sleeping through the night, Dr. Tressler. I haven't slept through the night in 32 years. 32 years. I said, "What are you talking about?" Every night, Kathy would go to bed. She'd fall asleep, wake up around 2 in the morning, and be up for an hour or so. Every night. And she said it happened after she had her son, after she delivered her son. She said, "I just blamed it on him." Blaming him for all this trouble. Something, her physiology or nerve system was under stress. And what I did by doing a simple adjustment to take pressure off the nerve, her body got reestablished. It restored itself. She slept through the night. And that first year she was under care, she only had 1 or 2 bad nights after 32 years of every night. Just think of that. How would that affect your life? If you can't sleep through the night and next week you're sleeping through the night, I don't want to be kissed. We're not allowed to at this time anyhow. But wouldn't that be amazing? I love hearing these stories. And I hear sleep, I get better sleep all the time. I just heard it today. Young girl said, Dr. Tressler, I'm sleeping better. This affects my sleep. So it affects everything. So make sure you sleep in good posture. And it will take 30, 60, 90 days to train yourself. So don't get frustrated. No TV. We had a TV in our last house in our bedroom. It was nice sitting there. We had a fireplace and said, well, this house we don't. And my wife said, we should put a TV in. I'm like, no, I don't want a TV. I get it out of there. I go up and I read and I fall asleep. Use your bedroom for sleeping. And you use your bedroom for that. You don't use so much TV. Go read, go fall asleep. That's it. It's best to go to bed early. This is our rhythms, our circadian rhythms, our rhythms of our body where the sun sets, quiets down, calm. We need to go to sleep around 9 or 10 o'clock. So I go every night around 10 o'clock. And I wake up around 6. I get 8 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit later, 10:30, sometimes 5:30. So I get between 7 and 8 hours. Your adrenal system does the majority of its recharging between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Catch that. Adrenals for energy. Those little glands above the kidneys do the majority of recharging between 11 and 1. The gallbladder dumps toxins during that time too. So if you're up to 1 o'clock, your body's dumping of waste and garbage, you missed it. So where does it go? It stays inside you. Your adrenals don't get recharged. What happens? You feel exhausted. Start programming yourself. You say, I can't fall asleep then, because you've developed a bad habit. How do you break a bad habit? You change. You just start gearing it back. And then you'll start waking up earlier. I had some Amish patients, and he said to me, he goes, I'm not sleeping through the night. I said, Chris, what do you mean? He goes, oh man, I feel exhausted in the morning. He said, I'm up all night. I don't go to bed till like 1 o'clock. And I said, what are you talking about? You're Amish. You don't have electricity. He goes, no, we have that little light bulb. He goes, we use that and stay up. I said to him, Chris, you need to get back to your Amish ways and keep the candles. Because you ever have a night where the electricity goes out and you have candles? How relaxing it is. Calming. Because you get rid of all the electricity, the lights. So he laughed. He said, you're right. I said, we all need to do that. I said, you have, when you do that, it's restful, peaceful. So be consistent. Develop a rhythm, but develop a pattern. Your body and physiology are striving for patterns and consistent behavior. Inconsistency creates a chaotic mind. If any of you have children and young children, if you just let them do whatever the heck they want, that is chaos. If you have more structure, they're better. They appreciate it. They need structure. So do we. Do not eat 3 hours before bed, and especially no sugar or carbs. No coffee after 2 or 3 p.m. The sugar and the carbs in the food, it raises blood sugar. You don't need sugar before bed. You don't need sugar before bed. I've read once that you can have some fruit, and this has to be a few hours before bed. Fruit will actually help you get a more peaceful sleep, but you don't want a lot of fruit. It has to be limited. But that's 3 hours. But right before bed, don't do that. You don't need a bowl of cereal right before you go to bed. Cereal is a carb. Carbs are energy. You don't need energy to sleep. All you're going to do is stimulate energy, and you're going to stay awake all night. If you have to, and you're in a habit of eating, eat something fatty or maybe a vegetable, something light. Give it an hour or two. Start pulling it back. That raises your risk of acid reflux. Your blood sugar can drop too low, hypoglycemia, and then you wake up and many times because of the sugar you wake up and then you're unable to fall back to sleep. So just cut the food. No computer or electronics right before bed. So no computer before bed. That's stimulating. It's mind-blowing to your mind and head. At least an hour. Research shows that electronic devices during the day and especially at night, it's longer. It takes us longer to fall asleep, and we have less, and we get less sleep. So especially if you're on your laptop, look at this posture at night. You're sitting in your bedroom doing work, and you put it away. Well, now you're stimulated by the lights of the computer, by the work that you just did, and you lay there and you're like, I can't fall asleep. Don't do that. I'll show you some other things you can do here. Read, this is another thing you do, and relax with deep, slow, cleansing breaths. So many times I'll read a book, something in business, mind, spiritual, my Bible, something that's calming, something that it kind of gets my mind thinking, but I sleep on it. Meaning I may wake up with an idea. I want my mind to like kind of play with these ideas through the night. So I wake up with a new, fresh idea. About 3 more minutes here and we're done. And then as you're reading, you can look, some of our other videos we talked about breathing, relax. Do not exercise 3 hours before bed. Many times, like you get home, I got to exercise. You exercise, go in the house. When the exercise stimulates energy, don't do that before bed. 2-3 hours out. 2-3 hours out. Avoid fluids 2 to 3 hours before bed, and go to the bathroom right before bed. That empty your bladder to get as much sleep as you can without waking up in the middle of the night. Wear socks to bed. It reduces night waking. It's something with the temperature of your feet, because it's like one of the first things that gets cold, and it stimulates and you wake up. If you have trouble, try that. Just put socks on or some warmer in your bed. Not electric, some warmer. Wear a mask to block out the light. So if you have light, you can't help it, street lamps or something, or you have a baby in your room, a newborn. We always kept night lights. I sleep and I just pull the pillow over my eyes. I don't sleep with a pillow. I just pull it over my eyes, kind of like a night mask. Put away work 1 hour before bed. A racing mind is cluttered and still working. So if you're doing projects, cut it out an hour. And it's really best, if you're going to watch TV, watch something relaxing. Don't watch the news. Don't watch something miserable before bed, something horrible, and you go to bed mad and angry and, seeing bad things on TV. Just don't do that. Hot bath or a shower, and this is pretty neat. The temperature rise will facilitate slumber, and it signals your body it's time to go to bed. So that warmth, and what you can do is you get that warmth and you relax. If you end the shower, Dan Borowski, if you're watching, you end the shower with a cold shower. It doesn't have to be bitter cold, but you have a cold rinse, that actually makes you even more relaxed. You can sleep. I love to do this. Usually I'm too tired and I just go to bed and I fall right asleep. It takes me about a minute to fall asleep, and most of the time I sleep through the night and wake up in the morning. But when I do that, I feel so much better. I'm just too tired. And journal. Here's the last thing, is journal. If this is critical, if you're in business, or if you're an entrepreneur and you're coming up with ideas. I always have ideas. And many times, like last night, I was thinking of an idea because I'm reading this book. I have some new things on my plate, and I came up with a thought, and it was like, oh, that's good. I'll remember it in the morning. Get out of bed. So I did. I got out of bed and I put it in a notepad in my book, and I sealed it away in the book, and then that way I don't have to think about it. Because what I'll do is I'll say, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. I'll forget, but it keeps me awake longer. And I may wake up in the middle of the night. Journal it. There's been research that say some of the greatest ideas come in the middle of the night. You should have a night light and to click on, and a notepad to write the ideas down, because God innate will supply an idea in the middle of the night when you're at rest and there's no other chaos, and your subconscious can pull this out. Isn't that cool? And give you the idea. When you get the idea, write it down. How many of you have had a great idea and you're like, this is awesome, man. I'm going to share it with my wife in the morning. It's gone. Gone. You lost it. Don't do that. Write it down. Journal it. And when you do that, it's called a mind dump. When you dump your mind, you write everything down, especially what you need to do the next day. Like many times I'm like, okay, I got to work out. I got to run. I got to lift weights. I got to get the sheep, the cows. Oh, don't forget to move the cows, get the goats. Oh, the water. I don't think they have water. I got to check that. So all these things are racing in my mind. If I write them down, I'm done. It's out of my mind. I don't have to think about it because it's written. You don't have to think, it's written. So do those things. I hope those things help. I do the majority of those things. Don't depend on alcohol to make you fall asleep. You may pass out, but you'll never get good quality sleep. That's a killer. And I stopped drinking everything. This is pretty neat. Over 200 days ago, and don't miss it at all. It's pretty neat. I'm creating a podcast. This is for some upcoming information. I've created a podcast called Making Pittsburgh Healthy. We want to create the healthiest city in America, and I'll need your help. I'll need everyone to share this, and let's support the community. I want to create a whole movement in the Pittsburgh area. So I'm already starting to interview people. I have Dr. Will Cole scheduled as just a master in eating healthy, in functional medicine. He's a chiropractor, but just an amazing mind. Dr. Jack Wolfson, the cardiologist, I have him scheduled next Tuesday. I'm going to interview him. And I have many more coming. This is going to be powerful stuff. But there was a point to that. I don't know. But I have some great things coming down the road that we want to share with you and start to take this out further and further. So next week we're going to have an episode on Tuesday. We're going to launch out what the ideas are tomorrow, and we're going to do one episode next week Tuesday, and then we're going to re-record it, record it and launch it again Thursday. So if you miss it Tuesday at 1, you can watch it Thursday at 7:15. As my plate starts to fill up, we are trying to navigate our time here that's best. So and again, any questions, any comments, shoot them our way. I love seeing how many people watch this, and please share this. Share this with your friends. That people need to know this information. We have a Facebook special running right now that is $27. If you're having sleeping problems, you're curious, what can chiropractic do? $27, we do a complete history and evaluation. I do an exam. We take digital x-rays. X-rays show exactly how the spine is lined up, and you get your first treatment. Sometimes first treatment alone, first adjustment alone can help you sleep better. I see that a lot. So if you're interested in that, just message me. Just say, hey, I'm interested in the special. We're running it, and we run it throughout the month off and on. We don't do it all month, so you got to catch it. But if you're watching and you're interested, just message or message the Innate Life. Say, hey, I'm interested in the Facebook special. And myself, Emily, Michelle, or my daughter Mackenzie, who does all our social media, we'll get back to you. We'll get you scheduled. Nothing to lose on this. It's awesome. And anything we can help you with, please extend those questions and comments. I promise I will do everything I can to help you. God bless. Have an amazing weekend. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. And enjoy life. We'll see you.